Our children's lives are on the line.
Responsible gun owners are fed up.
We keep on fighting until something is done.
Take away the rights of the American people who follow the law.
We need to ban assault weapons.
How many children need to die?
The criminals do not follow the law.
Enough.
After Columbine, Sandy Hook, Parkland, Santa Fe, Uvalde, the conversation among lawmakers and at our dinner tables often turns to gun laws and whether they need to change. We wanted to take a close look at some Texas laws and see how they compare to other states. Using CDC data, we looked at the states with the highest rates of gun deaths per capita. That's murders, suicides, any time someone dies by a firearm. Those are Mississippi, Louisiana, Wyoming, Missouri, and Alabama. Then we also considered California, Illinois, Florida, and of course Texas, which have slightly lower rates relative to their larger populations. We also looked at states with the lowest rates of gun deaths: Hawaii, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Rhode Island, and New York. 4 of these, plus Illinois, all require background checks for private sales. In addition to the federally required background checks for sales at licensed vendors and gun stores.
It does change a little bit from state to state, but this is the general federal form.
Those background checks are not required for gifts or private sales in the other states we evaluated. In many states, the rule is 18 for rifles, 21 for handguns, which is in line with federal law. But several of the states with higher rates allow people 18 and older to buy both handguns and rifles through dealers without a federal firearms license. New York recently joined Hawaii, Illinois, and California in requiring people to be at least 21 to purchase either kind of firearm. In 2018, in the wake of a deadly school shooting in Parkland, lawmakers in Florida also raised the age to buy rifles to 21 and passed what's commonly referred to as a red flag law, giving judges the power to bar potentially dangerous people from owning or buying a gun. In the same year, after the Santa Fe, Texas high school shooting, our lawmakers held school safety roundtables, and some gun safety legislation was on the table.
We're still here because the crisis is still here.
Mom-turned-advocate Nicole Golden says her group, Texas Gun Sense, watched as school safety legislation passed without any gun regulations included.
That was, of course, discouraging.
We have a ton of laws on the books.
Meanwhile, Texas Second Amendment rights attorney Richard Hayes says his years working as a felony prosecutor showed him the focus should be on enforcing current laws.
I think some of these could have prevented it.
He points out an existing part of the Texas Health and Safety Code that he says functions like a red flag law and should be used more often.
Under Chapter 573 is we say, hey, look, this actor is a dangerous person, and we are going to temporarily seize them, and including we get to take their firearms. And I think that's so much better to focus on the dangerous person as opposed to just a firearm by itself.
Golden says she knows they can't prevent every instance of gun violence, but believes in adding different layers of protection.
I don't think that the public is going to accept just the status quo anymore, especially after what happened in Uvalde. We also evaluated mass public shootings in each of these states using a survey from the National Institute of Justice. But we didn't find a clear correlation between those incidents and any specific legislation. For instance, some states with more gun regulations still saw higher rates of mass public shootings. You can explore this study, its findings, and other state laws online now at KXAN.com, or pause and scan this code to head straight there.